a big fan of the way you make your movies. You know, the lengths you go to, the risks you take to entertain the audience. So what drives you the most? Like, you know, when you're kind of putting your life on the line in some cases, especially in this movie, multiple sequences, what drives you to do that when you don't have to?
The audience. I think of those people there on opening weekend, and I want to thrill them. I want them to have the greatest time. You know, whatever it's like, if I'm making them sit on the edge of their seat or whatever it is, whatever film that I'm making, I can't do anything halfway. I feel, I truly, like in my core of that, it's a privilege what I get to do. I love making movies, and because I love watching movies and to be able to entertain people, and that's what I think about. That's what I think about when I'm hanging from that helicopter and it's freezing weather and I've got to let go of that rope. You know, it's exhilarating. I enjoy it. You know, don't get me wrong. It's something that is, it's also can be quite, you know, it's an adrenaline rush. It's nerve-wracking at times, very and stressful. But I am thinking about that audience. I'm thinking about that shot and thinking about what it's going to be like on the big screen for them, and that's what I want. And when I make a film, I'm not thinking about movies in terms of opening weekend, or that I'm trying to make it in a classic manner, or give it the highest level of quality that it's something that could be looked at, hopefully 5 or 10 years from now. You know, that, you know, those movies that you and I look at that were made before that we can't help ourselves, but, you know, we're there. It's like I want that experience again, and that's what I hope to give to an audience. That's what I want.
You know, one of my favorite scenes, audiences are going to walk out, they're going to talk about the skydiving, the car chase through Paris, the helicopter. My personal favorite is the bathroom brawl. I think it's just, you know what, not only is it great because Ethan Hunt's very vulnerable in that scene, but it's also a badass brawl. You know, like, talk to me about that scene. Was it challenging to shoot? Is it hard to get your ass kicked a little bit?
Oh, it's not, listen, kicking ass and getting your ass kicked is hard. Both ways. All of us, none of us walked away from that scene going, we were all limping, trust me. It was, and none of us would admit it, by the way. Not one of us would ever admit it, but it was a bone-bruising scene to shoot. And, you know, McHugh and I talked about it, just even structurally coming up with how that fight unfolds was very important the way it did, not only just for an entertainment factor, but in terms of how it affects
the plot.
How it affects the plot, and also the emotion and dynamic of the characters when they see it, you know, in the end of the movie. But it's just so much fun. I mean, we were just saying, like, this has to happen in this way. This has to happen in this way. And we talked about, we wanted shots where let's hang on these shots as long as possible. Like, the thing that is dictating the cut is just geography. It is points of story, we're not cutting because we're trying to fake a punch. Yeah. We're cutting because of story, not because we don't have it on camera. So when you're shooting something like that, it means you know, in order to be able to do that, you have to get it right in every take. You have to get those takes so that they're playing long enough so that we're able to make the least amount of cuts, so that when the audience is going through it, I want to invest the audience, not just in all that big action. They've got to invest in the character and the emotional journey so that they're feeling those blows, you know, from both me and Henry.
You feel that fight.
Good. I'm so happy. I am so happy to hear that, because that's what we wanted you to feel.
Talk about lingering on scenes. When you're climbing up the helicopter is another one of my favorite moments, because that's what separates these movies from other movies. In another movie that's a wide shot, it's a stunt double, he climbs up really fast.
They shoot on a stage with green screen.
Yeah, you have that camera right there, and in real time, it's just watching you just kind of get up there.
Yeah, we got that helicopter that pulls back, and it's just watching, and I'm just climbing up.
Thank you. Is that a hard one?
It was hard. You're the first person that asked me, climbing up that rope, that was hard. It was cold. You know, that's a long rope climb.
Did you master the rope climb in gym class? Like, were you that kid?
I was that
just
kid.
Fly up?
You know, but it's never easy. It's not like the rope climbs ever. No one's like, oh, I can do this easy. It's a rope climb, man, and it's hard, you know. So, and it was exhausting doing that. And I'm also training for the helicopter at that point. We'd shot Paris already, and I just remember that day. I had to train, you know, climbs up there so that I could make the whole climb, and I had to do it several times. Now when I get to the top, you see me hanging on the thing and I'm breathing heavy. That is literally me going, oh my gosh, you know, please. Then now I have to drop again, you know? That was intense.
Ethan, where are you?
I'm in a helicopter.
What, you can fly a helicopter?
You know, we love talking about the running that you do in movies around the
Thank you,
office,
man.
so much so that
Thank you.
we
That's
actually
nice.
sat down and estimated how many steps you've run in all your movies. Came out to about 24,000, or like 4.5 miles.
Is that right?
What do you think? Is that? Do you think that's underestimating it, or?
I don't know, man. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's really cool. But what in movies though? Sometimes I'll have to do that sprint 50 times to get that one take. So it takes take after take to get those. You know, it's one of those things. I'm supposed to have that level of impact hitting the wall. I just put my foot out, try to soften the impact. I knew instantly it was broken.
And in this one, you're injured. When
Yeah,
you're
in this one,
sprinting across that road.
the ankle's broken. I'm about 11 to 12 weeks into a broken ankle at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that kind of? I mean, you do all these big stunts, but that's got to be one of the harder things that you've.
That hurt. I mean, I mean, there's stuff that I break or you sprain or your bone bruise and stuff like that. I mean, when you're making these movies, you're just trying to pace your body through it. And definitely when you finish it, it's, you know, you need recovery time, just like an athlete in the off season. I don't really get an off season, you know, the way that I work, but I really have to pay attention to it. That break was, look, it was 10 to 12 hours of rehab a day. Even when I was sprinting in the movie, when you see it, I couldn't walk for days afterwards. Like I would do those sprints, and then I'm basically, you know, I would sit on set on a little box and get up, do my lines, and then sit down again, you know, because it was just too painful.
Out of my way, Hunt. Walker, we got a problem. There's a storm and we need to... Enough talk. I'll see you in Paris. Come on.
Oh no, I was just going to ask you about the longevity of the series and whether or not these movies end when you're finished with them, or if you're open to like James Bondifying it and having other people play Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see what happens, to see what an audience, you know, I would never ask anyone. The kind of stuff that I've done has been things that I've cultivated, and to have someone and say, you have to do this, that's like, I don't know if I could ask anyone to do that. Even if they would want to do it and people think they want to do it, but once they start kind of doing it, they realize how challenging it is. And it's also, look, I've been doing this since I was a little kid doing stuff like this, and I've been really working on systems on how to make it so that you can actually survive these things and create those. So it's something that, of course, my whole idea was that the franchise would always go on, but I just, you know, it'd be nice, you know.
I hope you make like 7 more.
We'll
just
me
say
too.
like
You and me
7
both.
more.
You and me
Do
both.
it,
And then
please.
I'll be like, okay. Thank you so
My
much.
favorite action movie.
Thank you so much.